Hi guys, Marco Schwartz here. In this video, I want to dive more in details into my investing portfolio, which at the moment of this recording is just a bit below $250,000. So we will dive really into practical aspects. So I don't want to tell you like some theory stuff about my portfolio. Whenever I finish this, I will directly go to my computer and show you my portfolio really like live and in depth and tell you why I invested like I did in my current portfolio. So as you might know, just as a general overview of the portfolio, I invest only for passive income. Okay, so I invest only in assets that will produce completely passive income month after month. So there is at the moment dividend growth stocks. So stocks on the stock market that are producing a dividend. There is real estate crowdfunding, so basically investing in real estate but completely managed online and investing with other investors. And finally, peer-to-peer lending, which is investing in loans in exchange of an interest. So I will tell you all about that in a moment when I switch to the computer, and I will show you the details of my investment portfolio. So I really hope that this will give you some idea as well for your own investments. You can, for example, replicate the same strategy. You can just inspire it to, add some positions to your existing portfolio. Or if you are completely new to this, it can really give you a solid strategy to build a portfolio that is generating passive income that will grow over time. So I will end this now for this part, and let's go right to the computer and I will show you in details my investment portfolio. So let's now dive into the details of the portfolio. So just before I start, I want to say two things: that I'm completely open with my income and also with my investment portfolio. So many people actually hide this, right? They don't want to say what they invested in precisely or how much they earn from the investments. I'm really open about that, so I don't mind sharing at all, all the numbers here. So if you're wondering, also that's a sentence in, if you're wondering what kind of software this is a software that I built for myself. It's called Pure Portfolio, because I never really found something that will allow me to track precisely the position of my passive income generating portfolio. So I really wanted something that, was not on the market, so I just built it myself. So if you are interested, by the way, in the software, I might release it one day for, everybody to use. So let's now look at this year, because that's an important part. My net worth is basically this income generating portfolio plus other things like my websites, right? Basically my companies. But we'll focus on this year. So basically I have about 120,000, it's in euros here, in dividend paying stocks, about 34,000 in real estate crowdfunding, and about 55,000 in peer-to-peer lending. And we'll dive into that when clicking on the portfolio here. So I'm sorry that it's not the prettiest app at the moment. It just, I made it really to have a way to track my investments. I didn't really want to show it on a video at the start. So I might upgrade that in the future to make it more, prettier. But for now, that's just what I use to track my positions. So here you have peer-to-peer lending. So I'm diversified in all those platforms here. Here you have real estate. So I have all those investments in many countries. And finally, you have dividend growth stocks at the end here, where I'm invested, in many different stocks. So while I'm on this page, I want to tell you a bit about why I chose those investments, right? I really wanted investments that were not only producing passive income, but also that were completely manageable online. Okay, I didn't want to have, for example, real estate properties where I had to physically go somewhere, even just to sign some contract, right? I wanted to have everything manageable online, and I also wanted good yields on my investments. Okay, I didn't want just some savings account. Basically, is a passive income, right? It's passive income generating, but it has
very bad yield, right? Not to say a bad word, it is very bad yield. And here you can see the yield of my investments are more like in the above 10% for peer-to-peer lending. They are around 6-7% for real estate, and finally about 3 and 4% for the dividend growth stocks, right? Of course, some are more, but that's a general idea. So they have good yields, and also some like real estate and dividend growth stocks, they actually grow their income. Of course, they grow by value, right? Because companies get more value, and also real estate investment take value over time, but they also grow their income because rent raises, right? And also companies that I chose are growing the dividend. That's why they are called dividend growth stocks, right? So that's the basic, composition of my portfolio. It's quite simple, right? And I want to keep it simple. I don't want a very complicated, strategy where I have to buy and sell all the time. I usually buy some new positions, so either a brand new position, like I did recently this month with a peer-to-peer lending platform, or I just add to an existing position. I do that once per month, okay? And I take about 2 hours to review my portfolio and then add new positions. But that's basically all I do to actually manage this portfolio. So let's finish by going to something that I did recently. And I have some statistics here. So again, sorry, because it's not that pretty. The colors are a bit crazy here. But I just wanted to do some basic charts to show you the distribution of some of my assets. For example, I can see that for my dividend growth investing part of the portfolio, this is quite diversified because I have, like financial sector, industrial, technology, which I really love, healthcare, consumer goods. So that's a diversified dividend growth portfolio. Not so much in currency wise, but that's due to the fact that a lot of the good dividend paying stocks are all in the US, right? European companies and from other countries, they don't have yet, at least, this really like strategy to make it really attractive for dividend investors to invest in them, right? Whereas in the US, companies have a very good, a reputation to pay and grow dividends, at least some companies that I'm invested in. So that's why there's so many investments in USD here. And that's really something also that I recommend, is that at the core of my investment strategy is always to diversify if you can, right? So here, even in dividend growth investing, I'm diversified amongst many sectors. So if one goes, not so well, the others will be there to still push the portfolio. Peer-to-peer lending, I'm also diversified on many platforms. You can see that one is actually most of my investment, like more than half, but the rest is pretty diversified into those platforms here. And also for the same reason as dividend growth investing, because as a European investor, you can only invest, at the moment at least, in European platforms. Of course, most of my investment is in euro and a bit in pounds, right? But it makes sense because I'm only investing in European platforms. So if you are from the US, for example, this will basically be only USD, right? Because that's all you can invest in with the current laws. So to finish, let's go back to the dashboard a bit. So that's the current distribution. As you can see, there's a lot in dividend paying stocks and then peer-to-peer lending, not so much in real estate for now. That's really because when I started, it was very difficult as a European investor to invest in real estate crowdfunding because there were not so many good platforms out there. And I had to wait a bit, I think like 2 years from the moment I started investing in all of this to actually be able to invest in real estate crowdfunding in Europe. Because as a European investor, I cannot invest on the US platforms, for example, which are much more advanced and developed than in Europe at the moment. So Europe is catching up. You have great platforms like Houses, that allows you to invest in, Spain, Italy, Portugal, and soon other countries. So it's charming, but that's why here, at the moment this video was recorded, my portfolio is a bit lacking in the real estate crowdfunding part. So yeah, that was basically the overview I wanted to show you of my portfolio.
So this is already the end of this video, where I showed you really in details like the composition of my investment portfolio. And I will definitely do more of those videos over time as my portfolio grows to show you what I changed or what I didn't change. Also, if you are interested in this and if you want to learn more about how to do that yourself, I created a free masterclass where I will really show you the strategy that I use to build this portfolio. And also I will show you mistakes that you can really avoid, mistakes that I did and that you should really avoid when building such a passive income generating portfolio. So I just put the link to the masterclass just below this video. And if you want to learn more about this, I really recommend joining this free masterclass. That being said, if you have any questions about investing or about what you saw in this video, don't hesitate to ask me, for example, by leaving a message in the comments. And to finish, thank you again for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.